Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of Digital Fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn. Today I have something kinda crazy. This was a card that was brought to me. I can't say her name. I can't say who gave this to me, but this is a card that's not supposed to be spoiled as far as I know until the last day of spoiler season. And I think I'm the only one who actually has this card right now, which is kind of wild, but we actually have a new Nicol Bolas, which is kind of bananas. For those of you who don't know, Nicol Bolas was imprisoned in the meditation realm. He was brought there by 𝐴 through the blind eternities, and 𝐴 sort of became like his eternal jailer, if you will, watching over him, keeping him shackled up there, because when they defeated Bolas back during the War of the Spark, they were convinced that if he had died, he'd find a way to come back, similar to the way 𝐴 had come back as a spirit dragon. They were kind of worried about that, so they thought the best way to stop him was to imprison him in the meditation realm, which apparently didn't work out, because now we have this. Nicol Bolas, the Unshackled? What? So, a legendary planeswalker for 7 mana in Grixis, which, I mean, we've seen a 7 mana version of Bolas before, so, like, whatever, that's nothing new, right? 5 loyalty planeswalker. Here's where it gets crazy. So, you can plot it for 1 blue, 1 black, 1 red, and putting 2 plotted cards that you own from exile into your graveyard. So, if you've already plotted 2 cards over the course of the game, instead of playing those cards for free from exile, you put those cards into your graveyard and only pay 3 mana, and you get to put Nicol Bolas onto the field. I'd say that's a little unshackled. I can't believe this card exists. +2, exile the top card of your library, it becomes plotted. That ability doesn't seem that crazy at first, because, you know, this is an expensive planeswalker, and it's just 1 card, but the thing about it is, everything that's plotted, you get to cast for free. So if you have a deck full of bombs, especially if they're things that are maybe other really expensive plot cards that you can play for cheaper by plotting them first, being able to just jam them off the top and plot them for free is going to be kind of nutty, but being able to plot like Atraxas or Breach the Multiverse, which I guess kind of makes sense with what's going on here, for free. So every turn you're just playing the top card from your deck the turn before for free, and Bolas is just getting more and more loyalty. That seems kind of bananas. As the uptick, right? As the +2 uptick, that makes it kind of wild. So the -3 is exile up to 2 target non-land permanents opponent controls, so it's not good enough to just get rid of a permanent, right? Let's get rid of 2 with 1 activation, sure, and let's make sure it's exiling. It's almost like Bolas is so mad about being, I don't know, was he exiled, I guess? Maybe not in the gameplay sense, but definitely in the dictionary sense of the word exile, he was definitely exiled to the meditation realm, right? With 𝐴 with him, so this number 2, I guess, has significance because they were there as a pair. I don't know. This just seems crazy. And then -10, gain control of each opponent during their next turn and take an extra turn after this one. So you're not going to hit that very often. Like, when are you going to get to 10 loyalty? You're either probably already winning with this guy on the field, or your opponent dealt with him pretty quickly. But if you do happen to get to 10, you can just take every opponent's turn for them, but take an extra turn yourself before that happens. That seems just cracked. And it also seems like that ability is maybe just made for, like, multiplayer. Maybe it's just like a commander sort of intention, because you gain control of each opponent during their next turn. So if you're sitting at a table of 6 people, you get to take all of their next turns for them, which is crazy, but then you also get an extra turn first to maybe set stuff up. I don't know. That extra turn seems a little unnecessary and a little extra, but I mean, it's insane value, but it should be. It's an ultimate, right? You're probably never going to use that. But just the other abilities, like +2 to constantly plot a thing and just go up in loyalty every turn, and -3 to just keep exiling the 2 most problematic permanents, is kinda nutty when you realize just how quickly this can come out, right? If you just plot really crappy plot cards that are really cheap, and then just don't even bother to ever cast them, you could just put this onto the battlefield. It's just crazy. It also works with things like Invasion of Alara, right? Because it's technically a 7-drop, so Invasion of Alara won't find it. So you can use it with that and then still play it kind of early maybe if you've got other... Do other plot cards work with Invasion of Alara? I'm not sure. If you've seen anything that will work as far as plot and Invasion of Alara with those synergies kind of like intermingling, let me know in a comment below, because I can't recall off the top of my head if maybe some plot cards could go in a deck with Alara and still have like Alara kind of combo off, but that could be a thing. I also like how this card is almost kind of like in direct opposition to the Jace card, which thematically makes perfect sense because Jace is able to plot things that are, you know, 3 mana or less, and this is technically not 3 mana or less, so can't be plotted with Jace, but it costs 3. So it's like this weird dynamic of like, it just seems perfectly balanced and sort of mirror opposite to Jace in a weird thematic way, which I kind of find to be really perfect. But man, I can't get over how quick you can potentially play this guy and then have a 7 mana Planeswalker on the field like way early. Are there any 1 mana plot cards? I don't think so. But there's at least 2 mana plot cards. Like at least you can go turn 2 plot, turn 3 plot, play this on 4. I guess you did nothing the whole game if you do that, so it's a little bit balanced. But I mean, there's gonna be broken ways, right? Maybe use this with Jace to just plot things for free with Jace so that you can not cast the plot things and instead just play the Bolas for 3 mana. I don't know. It seems like there's a lot going on here, and I kind of love it. I don't know. You got to let me know in the comments what you think of this, like what you think it can best be used for, because this card's insane, and it's absolutely wild that nobody, at least as far as I know, nobody else has seen this yet. And I'm just losing my mind. I think it's absolutely crazy. So you got to let me know in the comments down below. What are we doing with this guy? Because I have a couple ideas, but my ideas mostly revolve around the fact that this card isn't real, and today is April 1st, and I'm really, really sorry. I love you all so much. Like and subscribe. Tune in for the rest of the spoilers, because they're on their way. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.